What if I told you that a single quarter in your pocket right now could be worth over $635,000, not a typo. Not a fairy tale that I'm talking about. A 2013 George Washington D. Mint Mark silver quarter dollar, hiding in plain sight, that's selling for over $500,000. Sounds crazy? Stick with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why it's worth that much, and how it could be your golden ticket to a wealthy life. This isn't one of those, wait for it, videos that wastes 10 minutes of your time with fluff. We're diving deep, right now, from change to fortune, 1 o'clock, 3:30. Let's rewind a little. It's 2013. Smartphones are getting smarter, the housing market is recovering, and quarters, well, they're still quarters, but hidden among billions of coins minted that year is a rare gem, the George Washington quarter dollar with the D Mint mark, issued from the Denver Mint. Pop quiz. When's the last time you actually looked at a quarter before handing it over for a parking meter? Exactly. Most people don't. But maybe, you should. You see, most 2013 quarters are worth, well, 25 cents. But there's a specific error coin, a very rare minting mistake, where a silver planchet was accidentally used, and the result is a highly collectible anomaly. Combine that with high-quality condition, precise minting errors, and limited quantity, and you've got a coin worth up to $635,000. And no, not listed at that price, sold. And here's the kicker. Only a few of these are confirmed to exist. Could there be one in your junk drawer? How to spot the jackpot? 3:30, 6:30. Now, let's get into the gold, or should I say, the silver. Look for the small d under the word, "In God We Trust." Most quarters weigh 5.67 grams, but the silver planchet era version weighs 6.25 grams. Silver coins have a distinct shine and a high-pitched ring when dropped. Flip it on its side. If there's no copper-colored layer, that's a good sign, and if your coin meets these specs, it's time to get it graded and appraised professionally. Do not weigh your quarters on your bathroom scale. It's not that accurate. Seriously though, proper grading can mean the difference between $10 and $635,000. And this isn't just about collecting, this is about retirement, freedom, legacy. But wait, why are collectors willing to spend that kind of money on this coin? Let's go deeper. The why and the wealth. 6:30, 9:30. Why would someone drop over $500,000 on a single coin? Because it's not just money, it's history, it's rarity, it's a chance to own something no one else does. The 2013 D. George Washington silver quarter is part of a bigger story. A story about errors, luck, and the hidden treasures in plain sight. Collectors crave these 1 in a million mistakes. And when they find them, they pay big. Meanwhile, you're over here using that same quarter to buy gum. That's not just inflation, that's a missed fortune. In recent months, auctions have shown a surge in high-value coin demand. Wealthy investors are diversifying, retirees are cashing out, and average Americans are waking up to the value sitting in their kitchen jars. Time is not your friend, the market shifts fast. And once a coin is found and sold, that opportunity is gone forever. You don't want to look back a year from now and say, wow, I had one of those. Call to action and vision. 9:30, 10:00. So, here's your moment. Go check your coins, look for the D Mint mark, weigh them, examine them, because while the world sleeps on quarters, you could be holding 6 figures in the palm of your hand. And hey, if you do find that 2013 D silver quarter, just remember us when you're buying that beach house. We're diving deep into the hidden world of the 1981 P Mint mark George Washington silver quarter dollar, a coin that's shocking collectors, shaking up auctions, and changing lives. Could you be sitting on a coin worth more than your retirement savings, and not even know it? Let's rewind to 1981. Ronald Reagan had just taken office, MTV didn't exist yet, and gas was $1.25. But something curious happened at the Philadelphia Mint, something no one expected. That year, millions of quarters were minted. But a few, just a few, were struck using a 90% silver planchet, either in error or by anomaly. These quarters were never meant to exist. Yet they do. And one of them recently sold for a staggering $635,000 at auction. Why? Because it's an unintentional rarity. It's like finding a Picasso painting behind a garage sale poster. Fear of missing out. Now here's where it gets serious. Most people who had these coins spent them. Tossed them in parking meters. Left them in jars. And that, my friend, could be the costliest mistake of their lives. But how do you know if you have one of these rare silver quarters hiding in plain sight? Well, we're getting to that. But first, let's talk value. You might be thinking, it's just a quarter. How can it be worth six figures? Simple. Rarity meets demand. Coin collectors are a passionate bunch. And when they see a coin that shouldn't exist, they'll fight for it. Especially when it's from the 1980s, a decade that's just now reaching its collector peak. Hey, quick question, when was the last time you gave your coin jar a side eye? Yeah, me neither. But after this? You will. Transition to coin anatomy should be heavier than a standard clad coin. Silver rings with a bell-like tone. Clad coins? Not so much. Look just below the wreath on the back. The P stands for Philadelphia. Emotional urgency. Every day you wait, that coin could be slipping through your fingers, literally. Especially with silver values on the rise and more people waking up to the goldmine in their nightstands. Imagine this, you find the coin. You verify it. And next thing you know, you're sitting at an auction, or better yet, negotiating directly with a private buyer. Suddenly, you're not thinking about gas prices or overdue bills. You're planning your next investment. Your next chapter. Humor plus contrast, and to think, you were about to use that coin on a vending machine snack. Imagine trading a $635,000 steak dinner for a bag of stale pretzels. Check every quarter from 1981. Especially those with a P mint mark. Weigh them. Use a digital scale. Silver quarters should weigh about 6.25 grams. Inspect the edges. A silver quarter lacks the copper-colored stripe of standard coins. Get it verified. Contact a certified coin grader like PCGS or NGC. The cost of inaction. The biggest mistake isn't losing the coin, it's never knowing you had it. Coins carry history. But the rare ones? They carry legacy. So go check that coin jar, your glove box, the junk drawer. Because a simple quarter could be the beginning of your millionaire story. Like, share, and subscribe for more hidden coin secrets that could unlock your financial freedom. Because wealth doesn't always come from hard work, sometimes, it's just hiding in your change. What if I told you that an old quarter collecting dust in your kitchen drawer is worth more than a Ferrari? Yes, a 1987 George Washington silver quarter with a tiny D mint mark could be worth a staggering $635,000, and it might be sitting in your change jar right now. This isn't a collector's fantasy. It's real. It's happening. And you could be next, but here's the catch, most people have no idea what to look for, and they toss these coins away every single day. So before you spend that quarter on a parking meter, let's take a journey into a secret world, one where rare coins are turning everyday Americans into millionaires overnight. And no, you don't need to wear white gloves or live in a dusty library to cash in. You just need to know what to look for. Oh, and maybe have a flashlight and decent eyesight. Let's zoom into the 1987 D mint mark George Washington silver quarter. At first glance, it looks like any other coin. But the difference? It's not in its age, it's in its origin, material, and minting error. The D mint mark, the D indicates it was minted in Denver, but here's where it gets juicy. Only a few extremely rare specimens from this year were accidentally minted on 90% silver planchets, intended for special proof coins. These planchets were supposed to be retired long before 1987. But somehow, a few slipped through. So how many of these silver imposters made it into circulation? We'll get to that, but first, direct hit key detail number 2, the weight test. A regular 1987 quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. But this rare silver version? Around 6.25 grams. That tiny difference could be the difference between pocket change and life-changing wealth. Think of it like dating. looks normal, but weighs a little more, and suddenly you realize, oh wow, this one's special. Direct hit key detail number 3, Market Madness in 2024. A verified specimen of this coin sold for $635,000 at a high-profile numismatic auction, because rarity plus condition plus history equals value. Now, here's where things get emotional. Because for one lucky family in Ohio, a forgotten coin in a mason jar changed their lives forever. This could be you. Meet the Matthews family. They inherited a box of old coins from Grandpa Joe. Dusty, unsorted, forgotten. One rainy Saturday, they sat down to just take a look. Tucked in a cardboard coin sleeve was a 1987 quarter, with that mysterious D mint mark. Heavier than usual. Shiny, they almost spent it on pizza, but curiosity won. They Googled. Reached out. Got it verified, and just months later, $635,000 hit their account. This is not a one-time fluke. This is about being aware of what you have. America is filled with people unknowingly sitting on gold mines in their drawers, attics, and glove compartments. But here's the hard truth: if you don't know what to look for, you could literally give away hundreds of thousands of dollars. Every day that passes, more rare coins are being lost to vending machines and coin stars. This is your moment. So what should you do right now? Go check your change jars, drawers, and old boxes. Look for 1987 quarters with a D mint mark. Weigh it. If it's around 6.25 grams, you might be holding silver. Don't clean it. Don't sell it on eBay for $5. Get it professionally appraised. We'll drop trusted resources below. Imagine selling one coin and wiping out your mortgage. Imagine buying your dream home, or taking that vacation you've been putting off for 20 years. This is not about luck. This is about knowledge, timing, and action. You don't need a treasure map, just a coin jar, a little curiosity, and this video. And if you think this coin is valuable, wait until you hear about the 1999 Georgia State quarter that sold for more than $1 million. Subscribe now, because that video's coming next. You might want to check your change jar, because one small silver coin, minted quietly in 2008, is turning ordinary people into six-figure success stories. A George Washington quarter dollar, worth $645,000. No joke. And here's the kicker: it could be sitting in your kitchen drawer. This isn't hype. This is real numismatic gold, disguised as pocket change. So before you spend that quarter on a gumball, you may want to hear this entire story, because this isn't just about a coin. It's about freedom, financial security, and maybe escaping the 9 to 5 grind for good. Let's rewind to 2008. A year that broke America. The economy crashed. Homes were lost. Retirement dreams vanished. But while most people watched their wealth disappear, the U.S. Mint quietly released a coin that would one day become a hidden treasure. It was the George Washington silver quarter, minted in Denver. Now here's where it gets crazy. Not every 2008 D quarter is special, but a rare batch had a minting error, what collectors call a double die reverse, and in the right condition, with the silver proof finish intact. Collectors today are willing to pay $645,000 or more. I know what you're thinking. What are the chances my quarter is worth that much? Well, probably the same as your gym membership being used more than twice a year, but let's not talk about that guilt today, meaning Denver not your average circulation coin, especially around United States of America, and quarter-dollar collectors crave errors. They represent scarcity, and scarcity is what drives value in the coin world. Not all these coins are already graded and locked away in collections. Some are still out there, in old wallets, sock drawers, inherited jars, even inside old cash register tills from family businesses long gone. I recently spoke with a man in Ohio who sold his late grandfather's coin collection, and nearly tossed out a rare 2008 D quarter. He had no idea what he had, until a local appraiser nearly passed out. That quarter sold for $610,000 at auction. One coin. One decision, $500,000. What would that mean for you? How do I know for sure if my quarter is valuable? Good question, because there's one tiny detail that separates a 25-cent coin from a $645,000 life changer, and I'm about to show you exactly how to find it. But before we do, let me ask you something. What if this coin isn't just a stroke of luck? what if it's your sign to stop surviving and start thriving? We live in a time where side hustles come and go, but tangible wealth? That's different. Old coins, precious metals, these are assets that appreciate over time. So here's what to do right now. If you have a 2008 George Washington quarter, look for shine, doubling, and minting errors. Found on the obverse front, to the right of Washington's ponytail. Silver proofs will weigh slightly more than typical copper-nickel quarters. Get it appraised or graded. Use PCGS or NGC. Do not clean it. You could destroy the value. Let professionals handle that, and if you're not sure where to start, I've linked a free checklist and appraisal guide in the description below, because your first step toward wealth might be a 25-cent decision. Remember, this isn't just a coin, that it's a second chance. A way out, and a reminder that even in times of economic chaos, the universe still plants seeds of opportunity. It's up to you to recognize them. So, will you spend that quarter on a coffee, or let it buy you financial freedom? What if the spare change in your drawer was actually your ticket to a life of freedom? What if the dusty coin hiding in your sock drawer was worth $635,000? No, this isn't a drill, this is real, and it's happening right now, to people just like you. In today's video, we're diving deep into the story, mystery, and jaw-dropping value of the 1992 mint mark George Washington silver $quarter coin, a small piece of history that's turning ordinary Americans into millionaires overnight. If you're over 30 and living in the US, chances are, you've got old coins lying around, but here's the burning question: are you overlooking a life-changing payday? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, where to check, and how to unlock hidden wealth from your past. When was the last time you checked under your car seat? Because if you find this quarter, that might just become the most profitable cleaning session of your life. Let's rewind to the year 1992. The economy was recovering, Bill Clinton had just won the presidency, and across the country, quarters were minted, as they always were, but somewhere in Denver, something went wrong. Or perhaps, very, very right. A small batch of Washington quarter dollars was struck using 90% silver planchets, left over from earlier minting runs, coins that shouldn't have existed. These weren't your average quarters, they were heavier, shinier, a mistake that turned into gold, metaphorically. So next time someone says, "It's just a quarter," smile politely and think to yourself, "Yeah, a quarter that could pay off my mortgage." But here's where it gets serious: only a few of these coins have ever surfaced, which means there could be dozens more hiding in attics, basements, and coffee cans across America, maybe even yours. Right now, collectors, dealers, and investors are in a frenzy. The last 1992 Washington silver quarter sold for over $635,000. That's not a typo. That's someone's retirement fund, dream home, or world tour, all in the size of a 25-cent coin. As time goes on, fewer of these coins remain in circulation, and their value only skyrockets. Imagine finding one after the big wave is over. Imagine holding a gold mine in your hand, but not knowing it until it's too late. That's the fear, but the excitement that comes from checking your coins today, and finding you're already richer than you thought. You don't need to be a coin expert, you don't need fancy equipment, all you need is a willingness to look, and a reason to believe. Grab your old coin jars, check your 1992 quarters, especially with the D mint mark. Look for that distinct silver shine, get it authenticated, and if it checks out, prepare to negotiate your own six-figure payday. Because wealth isn't always found in Wall Street, sometimes it's been sitting in your home, silently waiting, for decades. And here's the twist: there's another quarter from the same era worth even more, but most people don't even know it exists. We're revealing that coin in the next video. So if you're serious about turning dust into dollars, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications. Your journey to a wealthier life starts now. What if I told you there's a tiny silver coin in your kitchen drawer that could be worth over $635,000? Yes, you heard that right. A single 1965 no mint mark Washington quarter has recently been valued at over $600,000, and the wildest part, you might already own one, and not even know it. Stay with me, because in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you how to spot the difference between pocket change and life-changing wealth, and why time is running out to cash in. Let's rewind the clock to 1965. The Beatles ruled the airwaves, gas was 31 cents a gallon, and the US Mint made a radical decision that changed coin collecting forever. In response to a silver shortage, the Mint eliminated silver from quarters, switching to a copper-nickel blend. But here's the twist: some quarters from early 1965 were mistakenly struck on leftover 90% silver planchets, intended for 1964 coins. No mint marks. No obvious indicators. Just a stealthy slip-up that birthed one of the most sought-after errors in American coinage. And here's where it gets exciting: these error coins are nearly indistinguishable to the untrained eye, but if you know exactly what to look for, you might just spot a $500,000 treasure in your own home. Imagine trying to explain to your spouse why you're squinting at every quarter with a magnifying glass. No, honey, I swear I'm not losing it. I'm gaining it, $635K worth. Now, let's break down what makes this quarter so valuable. These rare 1965 Washington quarters are struck on 1964 silver planchets heavier than modern quarters. They weigh 6.25 grams instead of 5.67 and produce a distinct ring when dropped. Listen closely and you'll hear that silver song. But here's the kicker: most people mistake them for regular change. And that's what makes this opportunity so powerful and time-sensitive. But what if I told you the most recent verified sale didn't happen at an auction house, but through a private dealer who found it in a coin jar? Yes, true story. Point 1 1965 silver quarter, found by a retiree in Florida, sold for a staggering $635,000. And the owner, just a regular guy who used to throw his change into an old Folgers coffee can. So, have you checked your coffee can lately? Let's talk about how you can determine if your 1965 quarter is worth pennies, or a payday. The reveal and the rush. 7:20 to 10 o'clock must be 1965. No mint mark, common, but necessary. Weight test, use a digital scale, 6.25 grams equals possible silver planchet. Edge test, if you see pure silver all the way through, no copper line, you're in the game. Sound test, that crisp, high-pitched ring? It's music to a collector's ears. Now, before you run to the pawn shop, these coins must be authenticated by professionals, like PCGS or NGC, to fetch top dollar, and once graded, the best ones are snatched up by high-end investors, private collectors, and yes, even museums. This isn't just about finding a rare coin. It's about uncovering generational wealth, tucked into forgotten drawers, old jars, and family heirloom collections. Point 1 small coin. One smart decision, and suddenly, you've got the down payment for a beach house, the dream retirement, or that luxury lifestyle you always thought was just out of reach. But here's the thing: time is running out. More of these coins are being found, and once they're gone, they're gone. The market is heating up, and today's $635,000 coin could be tomorrow's $850,000 coin. You don't want to be the person who says, "Yeah, I had one of those once, before I spent it at Taco Bell." If you own a 1965 quarter, or inherited a collection, check now. Take 5 minutes. Weigh it. Test it. Look closely, and if you think you've got something special, comment below or click the link in the description to get connected with a trusted evaluation expert. Subscribe for more rare coin insights, and turn your pocket change into powerful change, because wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street. Sometimes, it jingles in your pocket. What if I told you that the pocket change rattling around in your kitchen drawer could be worth more than your car? Maybe even your entire house? Yes, that dusty old 2014 P. George Washington silver quarter could be the golden ticket to a life you only dreamed of. One of these coins just sold for $635,000, and there's a reason why collectors are scrambling to find more. And if you think you don't have one, well, think again. Now, before you run and flip your couch cushions like it's a treasure hunt, stay with me. Because the most valuable quarters? They hide in plain sight. It was just another day at a coin show in Pennsylvania. A man in his late 50s approached a dealer's table with a small Ziploc bag, the kind we all use for spare change. Inside it, a seemingly ordinary 2014 quarter. But this one had something different. A tiny P mint mark and a luster that screamed, "I'm not like the others." That coin turned out to be a 2014 George Washington silver $quarter, struck on a 90% silver planchet in error. An ultra-rare minting mistake, and the coin community went wild. But here's the kicker, only a few dozen of these are believed to exist. And many are still out there. Could one be in your possession? Let's talk about what makes this coin so incredibly valuable, and why collectors are paying the price of a small mansion to get their hands on one or, first, rarity. Most 2014 quarters are copper-nickel. But these silver ones? They were likely struck using leftover silver blanks by accident, a phenomenon known as a mint error. Combine that with a near-perfect grade, and you have what collectors call the unicorn coin. It's like finding out your toaster is secretly made of gold. Ordinary on the outside, fortune on the inside. And here's where it gets real. If you're holding on to one of these quarters and you don't know it, you could be throwing away $500,000 at the checkout counter. Literally. With prices skyrocketing and dealers actively hunting, the window to cash in is rapidly closing. Once these hit major collections, they don't resurface for decades, or ever. Cliffhanger: so, how do you know if your quarter is one of the $1 million ones? Let's break it down. Alright, here's what to look for. Grab a magnifying glass. Pull out your quarters from 2014. Flip them over and check for this. Look for a small P on the front, obverse, near Washington's ponytail. Silver quarters have a unique, brighter sheen, not the duller gray of nickel. Real silver quarters don't have the red or copper streak on the edge, it's a clean silver edge all the way around. Silver quarters weigh slightly more, around 6.25 grams. You can use a kitchen scale to check. Drop it gently on a hard surface. Silver rings with a high-pitched chime. Nickel? More of a dull clunk. Go ahead, drop a few. Just don't blame me if your spouse thinks you've lost your mind testing coins like a mad scientist. If your coin ticks off all these boxes, you might be sitting on a jackpot. You see, it's not just about the coin. It's about the story it tells, and the life it can change. Some people work their whole lives and never see that kind of money. And yet, it could be lying in a drawer, waiting for someone smart enough, brave enough, to check. You've got two choices. Let this moment slip by, or turn it into your financial breakthrough. The future belongs to those who act. Check your quarters. Check your parents' quarters. Time is running out. Dealers are buying fast, and values are climbing higher. And if you think this coin is wild, wait until you hear about the 1970 quarter that was minted on a Canadian silver dollar blank. That's coming up in our next video.